Okay, let's see. Do do do. Do 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 do. Where is that link? There it is. Copy. Get that down. Oop. What did I do? How did I change there? Oh gosh. No. What? Okay. V Drake. Stream starting. Nah. And boom. And there we go. Just wait a few minutes for everyone to get in. Hopefully Drake's online and able to... Hey! Habit's here! Woo! How's it going? Okay, so... Got someone in? So... Let us get started, shall we? I think that's a swell idea. So now, we're on our 4th chapter. Yeah! How many chapters we got in this book? I can't remember. Oh gosh. I have a lot of catching up to do. But I will get through all these eventually. There we go. And let's see. I think only one additional character this stream, and that is, I think, Shadhoof, I believe. Oh, you mean like accidentally muting myself again? Because that totally happened last live stream. Hey, it's a live stream. What can you expect? Something's always going to go wrong. Send the link out to a few more people to join. And see if we can get a turtle buddy in here. Yay! Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you made it. Welcome to the chat, Aster. Woo! Sorry, I thought I heard something. Never mind. Someone was just playing bass next door. So let's kick things off, shall we? Okay, let's get started. Yes, goat noises. Goat noises for the win. No. Keep it that size. Do. Yeah, this is a long paragraph, so I'm going to be doing this a sentence at a time. Because there is no way I'm making it through this entire sentence in one go. You're welcome to take bets on that. But I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't take that one. I want to take that one. And so, here we go. Okay. Chapter 3. Digging the hole deeper. Chapter 3. Digging the hole deeper. Oh, you mean the other way around? That you bet that I can't make it through in one go? Well, I'm with you on that bet. for sure. Oh, Idol knows all about digging holes. I mean, he was an excavator. And then there's the other holes that the rest of the guard thinks that he's digging into. Ah, man. Should I just label all my streams as mature streams? Hey, Fractal! Glad to see you make it. Yes, Yogscast reference. As anyone can tell from watching the first stream, I'm a Yogscast fan, so yes. I am a bug and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Digging a hole. Yes. I don't know. Ask the goat in the chat. I mean, technically ask the Chimera in the chat. Ooh, which scene are you going to have to research? PG-13 streams. Oh, yes, all the time. Okay. Now that a few people have gotten in, let me just double check that you can all see what I'm doing. Nope. There we go. Now you can all see what I'm doing. I really need to get a second monitor for this setup. The screen's going to get too full. Oh, you haven't seen the fainting Fluttershy scene? It's wonderful. They should have more fainting pony scenes. Oh, did anyone watch the Christmas special today? Because, oh my gosh, that was so good. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Can I do an Idol voice tonight? Jane, yep. Let's go with Idol. Hello, guys. I'm Idol Hose, and tonight we're going to research the fourth part of my story. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next three, and Zamer ensured that I spent my time getting my hose back underneath myself and introducing myself to the rest of the Yep. First long word, and I already fail. Typical me. I know you did I know you already got it, Aster. Oh, man. For anyone else, you won't get this reference unless you've seen it, but it was the best. The pudding. I cannot get over that scene. I don't think anyone can get over that scene because it's just so beautiful. Yeah. Hold on. Ah, sorry. I think someone was revving their motorcycle outside. Maybe. I mean, they always release the heartwarming episode around Halloween, don't they? I mean, I thought it was around Halloween. Yeah, well. I mean, I even saw someone make a joke about releasing Christmas around Halloween. And basically, they say Jack Skellington's excited to have it finally get this job at Hasbro. I don't know what scene I was talking about. I was referring to Aster when he said, I'll have to research that scene. I think he's talking about the fainting Fluttershy scene. So that's the scene I guess we're talking about. Although that pudding face, the best face that I've seen out of the show. Like, can we all agree that they were having so much fun with the faces in that episode? Especially since when we were watching it, someone in our group called out, "Buy our toys!" when Flim and Flam were running after everyone to try and get their dolls, to buy their dolls. So good. She just hides a noisemaker. Every time she faints, it bleats. Let's see. Oh gosh, am I going to have to learn more than another voice? I don't even remember Bilberry. Anyone else remember Bilberry? Or Silvertongue? Oakenstave? Why don't I remember any of these characters? I probably should have read through this before the stream. Oh man, this is going to be fun. I mean, like, I haven't seen Rarity faint in a while. And she usually just does on a fainting couch, which just pops out of nowhere. But yeah, she does take up the budget. Although, Fluttershy, I bet Fluttershy just doesn't faint as much because, you know, she's Sassashy. Like, I was really waiting for Sassashy to come out throughout the entire episode, and I was disappointed. There was no Sassashy. I know they don't show up after these because they don't show up after these few chapters, but I'm usually really good at remembering like most of what I've read. But I guess I just don't go back to read these first few chapters, which I don't know why. These were so enjoyable to read. So, let's see. Can I get through the sentence? Bet's taken now. Too late. The vote is 100%. Not going to make it through. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Now, let's do what this live stream was meant to do. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3, and Zamir not assured. No, it's happening. The dumb tongue returns. Should we just call it that from now on? Every time I, like, trip over a word or something, just the dumb tongue? Because that truly is what it is. I can read. I swear. I swear to you guys, I can read. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3, and Zamir ensured that I said it right, and I stopped myself anyway. That's not dumb tongue, that's dumb brain. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3, and Zamir ensured that I spent my time getting my hooves back underneath myself and introducing myself to the rest of the caravan, as she claimed idle hooves only served to get ponies into trouble. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3, and Zamir ensured that I spent my time getting my hooves back underneath myself and introducing myself to the rest of the caravan, as she claimed idle hooves only served to get ponies into trouble. Yeah, it's true. It could also be my dum-dum. But do I have some gum-gum? Oh, man. Now that's an old reference. 15 brownie points to whoever can name that movie. Let's just go with this. I'll just seed random movie references, and the first one to name it gets 15 idle bucks. Yes! Habit claims his first 15 idle bucks. I really should have I wonder if I can program a counter into this to see who gets the idle bucks. I don't know. Whoever has the most idle bucks at the end, I don't know, after the end of 5 chapters or so, let's say, and they get, I don't know, some prize to be determined at a later date. And it's just strange because like sometimes people just don't get my movie references because sometimes they're either too obscure that people don't know what movie I'm referencing, or it's just been so long since that movie's actually been popular that no one knows what I'm talking about. Like, or people are just surprised that I know movies this well. Like, sometimes it's just scary. Some people say it's just scary how well I know a movie because, like, I keep on referencing. Like, sometimes I reference The Incredibles, even though I haven't seen that movie for over a decade now. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. I did not. I did not hear her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Or should it be, oh, hi, Dark. Welcome back. Welcome back, Aster. I just record this one more time because I think I tripped over some of my dum-dum. Oh, hi, Dark. Because I don't know if we have any Marks in this stream, but we do have a Dark. So it's going to be, oh, hi, Dark. Or when Drake eventually gets in, oh, hi, Drake. That's, man, that's just good. This doesn't bode well for the stream. I almost drank all my tea already, and I haven't even gotten past the first paragraph. Oh, gosh. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3. I think I'm going too deep. Because this is going to be bold. And we can't have bold showing up this early in the story. It might confuse people. Oh, who's forgiving Ironshod or whoever the guard is? I can never remember his name. Who's up to giving him a Russian accent? Like, seriously, who's up to giving him a Russian accent? Because I can't do anything other than just giving him a deeper, maybe more growly voice. I can't really do it. Roughshod. I have the right words, but they're in sometimes the wrong orders. Roughshod with a Russian accent. How about it? Let me know. It does fit him, doesn't it? It fits him too well. I wish they would tell me who's... Oh my gosh! They do tell me! Oh, that's so good. In Mother Russia, 3 buck you. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3, and Zamir ensured that I spent... Insured's right, right? Insured's the right word that's supposed to be have here. It sounds right. But I am terrible at English. I mean, yeah, I'm just terrible at English. I hated English classes. As it turns out, Wasta did not return that day, nor the next 3, and Zamir ensured that I spent my time getting my hooves back underneath myself and introducing myself to the rest of the caravan, as she claimed idle hooves only served to get ponies into trouble. I figured, but I don't know, my dum-dum is showing because I don't know my own language. Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so as my lack of a name was beginning to grate on me as my attempts to choose one were failing miserably. This was a staple of daily not... What tripped me up there? It's something that shouldn't have done that, but it did. Ooh, what was posted to the Discord? No, don't read that. No. Yes, Idlebuck. Oh, man. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We definitely need to make emote. Hold on. I'm going to pause the stream real quick. Don't go, but I needed to save this. And boop, and my downloads because I don't have anywhere else to put it. It'll. Where is V Drake? It says he's in the Discord. Oh, come on. I have to make a new folder? Okay. Yeah, Discord. Sorry this is taking so long. Yeah, select that folder. Woo! Okay, and... Yep. This is beautiful. United Ponies of Equestria. Yep, this is all beautiful. Okay, put the stream back on. Is it back on? Yes. Okay, close that. Let's do this. I mean, I guess, but at the same time, I don't get, like, for me, it just doesn't make sense to leave programs running if you're not using them. Although sometimes that can be detrimental because I close Discord and I'm like, then I remember, oh crap, I needed to do this one thing. Then I have to wait for Discord to reload. I know, probably. It probably saves them a bunch of stuff, especially if you have like better Discord installed. Because, like I have to reinstall that plugin like a couple times a month now. For whatever reason, it just when Discord updates, it just ruins it. I mean, I don't have to log in. Like, it just keeps my login. I don't know. Does yours just have a problem with staying logged in or something? Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so, as my lack of a name was beginning to grate on me, as my attempts to choose one were failing miserably. This was a staple of daily pony life, to be referred to by name, and to respond to others by name. Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so, as my lack of a name was beginning to grate on me, as my attempts to choose one were failing miserably. This was a staple of daily pony life, to be referred to by name, and to respond to others by name. Yep, messed up that line. Yay. Oh, makes sense. Yeah, I have the desktop thing, so I don't have to deal with that. True. True enough. I can get that. Yeah, private windows would help as well. I've actually been thinking of making the move from Windows to Ubuntu. Like, a few of my friends are like, move to Linux. It'll be a lot better for you. And I'm like, I don't know if I can. But, hey, yeah, I'll try. I'll definitely try. Might have to get wine or something so I can both drink my way through the process as well as to repackage other programs I use. Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so. Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so, as my lack of a name was beginning to grate on me, as my attempts to choose one were failing miserably. This was a staple of daily pony life, to be referred to by name. Yep, that didn't work. Yet didn't work. Oh. Yep, computer geek wars. It happens. Like, I've been trying to teach myself Python for a while, just so I can install stuff from GitHub. I'm learning an entire language just so I can install things that would make my life easier. Oh, man. Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so. Yeah. Or perhaps I should say, yeah, dum-dum. Dum-tongue, get in line. We need to get through at least the first paragraph. Okay, have fun getting soup. See you later, Aster. Or perhaps I should... My tea's gone. I'm losing the power to speak. I swear I'm not British. Or perhaps I should... No. Maybe I'm turning into British because I drink too much tea. Or perhaps I should say... Oh my gosh, why is that so hard for me now? What do you mean you're at Soups? Why are you buying clothing from the soup store? I don't know. Or perhaps I should say that she attempted to do so, as my lack of a name was beginning to grate on me as my attempts to choose one were failing miserably. I'm stopping right there, because I don't want to read that sentence again. That's a good take. We're going with it. This was a staple of Daily Pony life, to be referred to by name and responded to by others by name. Where did all those extra words come from? This was a staple of Daily Pony life, to be referred to by name and respond to others by name. Really? There's a clothing store of name Soups? Beautiful. Take the memes. Don't let the memes be dreams. This was a staple of Daily Pony life, to be referred to by name and respond to others by name. Is it just me, or does that sentence just sound not right? Is that just me? This was a staple of Daily Pony life, to be referred to by name and respond to others by name. Does that sound right? Does it? Because I don't know. It just sounds bulky. Just sounds like too many words. Like it maybe be like to be referred to by name and respond to others in the same way. I don't know. I can't write, yeah. This was a staple of Daily Pony life, to be referred to by name and respond to others by name. I guess we're keeping that. What is this? Ah, okay. Hold on a moment. I am going to do... What? You put in so many spaces. Boo. No. Copy. Paste. Space. Why'd you put in so many spaces? Oh my gosh. Boom. Boom. Seriously? Why do you have so many spaces in here? Oh gosh. And finally, there we go. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I don't think I have anything for... Let me just double check my stream settings. Let's see, my stream settings. See, be under community and settings, and it's hard to use YouTubers. No, I don't have blocked links on here, so feel free to post. Because I don't have blocked, because I don't block links. So feel free to post. Now, there's actually a setting in the thing to block links, and I don't have that checked. What? Why did YouTube? Let me show you the setting I'm talking about. Is this one? Like, I don't have this chat. Like seriously. Allow all comments. It's like, what? Why? This new comments with hashtags and URLs will be held for review. Live chat messages with URLs will be blocked. But I don't have that checked. Check, uncheck. I don't want that. Save it. Save that, because I don't want that. I want people to just post how they want. Let's turn that off. Yeah. Like, I just don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why. Okay, and boom. That's YouTube. What more can we expect from them? They're being broken left and right. Like, have you seen, like, the videos that some people on YouTube are posting that because Google Plus is dying, YouTube is breaking because of Google Plus? And some people are theorizing is that because it's integrated so much into YouTube, it's so much part of the YouTube platform now, that trying to separate them, they have to fill in so much code. And that's why people believe that YouTube crashed last week. Which I didn't hear about that crash except from other content creators and from the internet as a whole. But yeah, it's just strange. We live in a strange world, don't we? Life to be referred to by name and respond to others by. Let's see. The idea I would have to recall all these strange phrases was growing daunting. That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right at all. I'm making more work for myself in editing. You know why? Because I'm putting in so many breaks. The idea that I would have to recall all these strange phrases was growing daunting. The idea that I would have to recall all these strange phrases. What's with these random pops in my mic? Like seriously. My mic's not that old. It shouldn't be doing this. The idea I would have to recall all these strange phrases was growing daunting. The idea I would have to recall all these strange phrases was growing daunting. Ooh, let's go for a big old sentence, shall we? A nice big old one. Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician only traveling because he had important reasons to leave the area that the mayor quietly informed me involved two mares and one stallion who met very suddenly and equally unpleasantly. And Oakenstave, the camp quartermaster, cook, and brewmaster ordinaire, were among those I found most interesting, though Oaken was given strict instructions not to allow me to drown my troubles. As I doubted I would find a pool or river deep enough to harm myself even accidentally, I decided this to be a pointless restriction, but I would have to confess I had no idea whether I possessed the ability to swim or not. Oh, Idle, just you wait. Just you wait. You'll learn how to swim soon. I love how he set that up in the 4th chapter. It's so good. Silvertongue. Voice crack. Voice crack everywhere. Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling Bilberry, and over... Uncle Bilberry. Billboy, Bilberry, Bilbo. How should... Yeah. Silvertongue. 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 Yes, and and provided proper equipment, he's able to swim across the water. Silvertongue. Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling Bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician, only joining because he had important reasons to leave the area. That the mayor quietly informed me about involved two mares and one stallion who met very suddenly and equally unpleasantly. Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling Bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician, only joining because he had important reasons to leave the area that the mayor quietly informed me involved two mares, one and... I think I might just have to do this, like, break at a time, because, oh gosh, this is a long sentence. It's so long. Do you have other participants? No, we don't have other participants. It's kind of... I get why Drake disabled the use of everyone's, but at the same time, he's not always around. Like, I don't know, maybe allow some people at everyone's, because he wants people to know about these streams, and yet he's sometimes not here, and it just doesn't work. I don't know. Silvertongue, oh, my mind was getting ahead of me again. I thought that, for whatever reason, I was misreading it in my head as Slivertongue, which doesn't make any sense. We're still in the first paragraph. This is going beautifully. It's going so beautifully. Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling Bilberry, Traveling Bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician. Traveling... Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling Bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician, only joining because he had important reasons to leave the area that the mayor quietly informed me involved two mares and one stallion who met very suddenly and equally unpleasantly, and Oakenstave, a camp quartermaster, cook, and brewmaster ordinaire, were among those I found most interesting, though Oaken was given strict instructions not to allow me to drown my troubles. I don't know who he trusts to be mods. I don't know. I just don't know, because I don't know. I don't want to be like pretentious or anything, but I'm like, I'm pretty trustworthy. Am I right? Like, I would only use it for these streams, to be honest. I don't really have any other use for them. And I don't know enough people in the chat to... Yay, you got a donut. I just don't know enough people in the Discord to know who he should trust. Yeah, I don't want to be pretentious to say, hey, you can trust me. But, like, I mean, he can. Like, I've only ever asked him to do the @everyone command for the live streams. And that's because I just want people to know about it or know when a new chapter comes out or something. Because, like, there's people that are really interested about it. And I also noticed that he doesn't post, what is it called? Journals for the other chapters like he did for the first one. Because for the first chapter, I bet, yeah. Like for the first chapter, he actually did like he actually did give me a journal shout out, which I'm really happy and glad. And that video got like 127 views. But like ever since then, like it's gotten a consistent like 20-ish, and it's just not as like, I don't know, advertised or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it'll get more popularity once he posts the next chapter of Changeling of the Guard, and he's like, "Hey, we have it. Just a reminder, we have an audio reading or something like that." Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader, traveling Bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician, only joining because he had important reasons to leave. Yeah, I can't do this long sentence in one go. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask later if he'll trust me with, because like I've been mods and other things, but I just don't use Discord enough for me to actually be like a mod. I just mainly use it to advertise my stuff, or just be like, because I just hang around. I just read what everyone else writes down. I'm just a major observer. Wait, someone asked for me? Boo. Yay, thank you, Fractal. Thank ya. Wait, hold on a second. Boop. Oh, come on. I know. I'm reading. I read this direct message. Let me go. Thank you. I keep on having this thing pop up saying, "You have one unread message in your DM." Like, no, I read it before I came on Livestream. Like, oh my gosh. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I do. And I might even throw some napalm on there to help it out. Because just watching chaos just ensue is delightful. It's just so good. No, I didn't have a pending friend. It was a DM that was coming through that just didn't get marked as read until I actually had to physically click mark as read, which I'm like, I'm reading it right now. Discord, I'm reading it. Please stop messaging me saying, "Hey, you have a thing." Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's the one that you sent, Aster. I don't know why. It just happened. It just happened. That's cleared up now, and so I don't have any messages from the thing. So, yay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to split this up because, oh gosh, this is like this is like 3 sentences in one. Silvertongue, the caravan's other lead trader. Traveling Bilberry, a perhaps overly friendly musician, only joining because he had important reasons to leave the area that Zamare quietly informed me involved 2 mares and 1 stallion who met very suddenly and equally unpleasantly. What? Oh yes, you tend to post most chaos. Yeah, I noticed. It's beautiful chaos. It's so beautiful. And Oakenstave. Oh my gosh. And Oakenstave. I'm definitely mature. I definitely hit puberty. I make that joke every time I come into live stream. Let me know if it gets old. Never. Yeah. I know. I think the only reason I was able to go through it the first few times was because I've been in choir for so long. Which is why whenever I just stop for a musical break, I just sing, because choir instincts flooding back into me. Woo! You're out of coffee. Instant chaos. Some people only want to watch the world burn. That's me. Hello. And Oakenstave, camp quartermaster, cook, and brewmaster ordinaire were among those I found most interesting, though Oaken was given strict instructions not to allow me to drown my troubles. As I doubted I could find a pool or river deep enough to harm myself even accidentally, I decided this was to be No. Don't do that. Don't scare me like that. As I doubted I could find a pool or river deep enough to harm myself, I mumbled a little bit on that line. As for other voices I figured out bold, topaz, to a lesser extent, as well as shining armor for use in this. Not special, ordinary, master of the... Yes. Yeah, I know. Brewmaster ordinaire is delightful. But yes, I have most of the voices figured out for the upcoming characters, except for Daring Do and Owie Zodel, as well as the mayor that does the flying belly flop of justice too. And I mean, Maud's kind of easy. Let's see if anyone gets her confused with anyone else, and let's see how it happens. But I actually have enough people. I actually know enough people. Like, I know enough voices now to be able to do Idle versus the Dread Train. And I know I promise it every stream. But Idle versus the Dread Train will come. I promise. Maybe after the chapter where he first learns of trains is when I'll post that. I mean, Maud actually displays more emotion. Idle displays more emotion than Maud, it seems, in those chapters. I mean, Idle's voice is just this most of the time. Maud's voice will be mostly this most of the time. Rock. You are a rock. You are gray. Very gray. Like a rock. Which you are. Rock. And that has been my Maud voice. As I doubted I could find a pool or river deep enough to harm myself, even accidentally, I decided this to be a pointless restriction, but I would have to confess I had no idea whether I possessed the ability to swim or not. We finally made it past the first paragraph, guys! This stream is very productive. Oh, gosh. Is this one long... Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. I thought this was just one long sentence. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I did not... My mic was popping anyway, for reasons I do not know. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity for me, 3 who were put off by my inability to recall my name and found conversations very awkward, and 1 who found my lack of a cutie mark utterly disgusting for a stallion of my age, and would not be put off of it no matter what was said to him by Zamare. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. I'll be here for the next 3 hours. I know I messed up that in a few places. To their immediate feelings of pity, 3 who were put off by my inability to recall my name I found, and 1 who found my lack of humor utterly disgusting for a stallion my age and would not be put off of it, no matter what was said to him by Zamare. Yeah, let's get into this. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings. I think my mic was popping again. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity towards me. I am talking really quickly for whatever. I am talking super quick, oh my gosh. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity toward me. For me. I think my mic was popping again. I don't need to get a new mic. Mike, just work. Just work. I don't want to replace you. But I will, if I have to. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity towards me. No! No, it's happening again! There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity for me, 3 who were put off by my inability to recall my name and found conversation very awkward, and 1 who found my lack of a cutie mark utterly disgusting for a stallion of my age and would not be put off of it no matter what was said to him by Zamir. No! I stumbled at the finish line. I was so close. All that. I have to redo it. I think I said towards anyway, so. Oh no. I might make this a 3-hour live stream. I was planning on this being only a 2-hour live stream, but since we're almost an hour in already, and there's only been 1 paragraph done, I might make it 3 hours depending on you guys and how much you want a 3-hour live stream. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity for me. Stuttered at the end. There were precisely 14 other members of the caravan, 6 of which I could not tolerate the presence of due to their immediate feelings of pity for me, 3 who were put off by my inability to recall my name and found conversation very awkward, and 1 who found my lack of a cutie mark utterly disgusting. And 1 who found my lack of a cutie mark utterly disgusting for a stallion of my age and would not be put off of it no matter what was said to him by Zamir. Sorry for the burp. And 1 who found my lack of a cutie mark utterly disgusting for a stallion of my age and would not be put off of it no matter what was said to him by Zamir. Okay, woo. Got through the first sentence. Now the second... which is, it's just 2 cents. Oh, no. Ooh. Yeah. As I understood it, he was tasked with perfecting the caravan. Inverse relation. Oh, man. No, the more you post, the more I can speak. I don't know. My speaking skills are unhindered by the presence of people, but but I enjoy the chat because it gives me someone to actually talk to instead of just be in my lonely, echoey apartment instead. It's fun. This is why I'm doing the live stream. If I just wanted to work on this, I wouldn't live stream. I do this to get in contact with you guys who make the chat so much fun. Maybe one of these days we'll even make a chat room or so. We'll do a chat. We'll do a voice thing, a voice channel, just so we can talk to each other without which is greater than text. I'm more of a dog person, to be honest. And plus, I've seen how much trouble Lost has with her cat. So, so maybe later. As I understood it, he was tasked with protecting the caravan, and his bitterness was a defensive mechanism. That's too bad. My mics are actually pretty affordable. The one I have is known as a blue snowball, and it's in, I don't know if you're in the U.S. or not, but this is got for like $45 on Amazon. So if you want to try out, like, it's a really decent starter mic. And I know people swear by like Blue Yetis and whatnot, but this is just as good. He was tasked with protecting the caravan, and his bitterness was a defensive mechanism to prevent larger predators from devouring the rest of us. Okay. Here we go. As I understood it, he was tasked with protecting the caravan, and his bitterness was a defensive mechanism to prevent larger predators from devouring the rest of us. As I understood it, he was tasked with protecting the caravan, and his bitterness was a defensive mechanism to prevent larger predators from devouring the rest of us. Ooh, I got really quiet there, but I can fix that in post. Out of respect for his efforts, I made little attempt to converse with or otherwise bother him, and he seemed to appreciate that. Memory! Out of respect for his efforts, I made little attempt to converse with or otherwise bother him, and he seemed to appreciate that. Out of respect for his efforts, I made little attempt to converse with or otherwise bother him, and he seemed to appreciate that. No, Mike! Why are you popping? No! That was such a good take, and you ruined it. The mic ruined it. Out of respect for his efforts, I made little attempt to converse with or otherwise bother him, and he seemed to appreciate that. Out of respect for his efforts, I made little attempt to converse with or otherwise bother him, and he seemed to appreciate that. Ooh. Yes, you did, but that was like 3 days ago. Or 2 days, 3 days ago, something like that. my memory is not the bestest. And plus, when I'm doing these live streams, I go into a state that I call delirium, where it's like being drunk, but you don't actually drink, and everything is just awesome and chill. Yes, memory is the bestest. On the 4th day, I found myself standing face to face with the red-maned pony from before. On the 4th day, I found myself standing face to face with the red-maned pony from before, who grabbed my hoof with alarming speed and proceeded to rip it from my torso. I don't know why this is so... Oh, man. It's another out-of-context quote. I love how many of these are in the first few chapters. On the 4th day, I found myself standing face to face with the red-maned pony from before, who grabbed my hoof with alarming speed and proceeded to rip it from my torso. Yay! Thank you, Drake. I forgot to add a word in there, because I just read over it. Let's see how many people get in now. Will Drake join the chat? Doesn't look like it. At least not yet. On the 4th day... On the 4th day, I found myself standing face to face with the red-maned pony from before, who grabbed my hoof with alarming speed and proceeded to try and rip it from my torso. That was a little bit too quick. On the 4th day, I found myself standing face to face with the red-maned pony from before, who grabbed my hoof with alarming speed and proceeded to try and rip it from my torso. He began chattering. He began... Probably not. We usually only get like 4 or 5 people in a night. And Fractal's been in and out, so I don't know what's going on with him. Let me just silence this. Live's going on to... Man, he English good. There's a live stream gone on to do audio streaming. Best. He's the best with words, isn't he? Oh. Yeah, add a role for Livestream watcher. Yeah, that'll work. That's true. No, our record was 8 one time. And then it dropped down to 6 quickly after that. On the 4th day, everything was destroyed because the moon crashed into the planet from the day before. I know, I have a massive story to read backlog as well. And, like, I have almost 300 books I need to read still. Yeah, I don't know why. I just can't start a new book. For whatever reason, I just can't start a new book. I go back to reread my old favorites, but I never start a new book. Like, I actually just started reading a new one. It's called The Monster Below. I know, 300 books. Like, my favorites list on FinFiction is like over... let me check. What is my favorites list on FinFiction now? Let's just click on that. Let's see. 380 stories of my favorites. 265 in my read it later. I'm tracking 15. And yeah. I'm a bookaholic. I love books. He began chattering about me He began chattering at me with about a great... Really should just read these before I try and record it. I'm getting video fright. He began chattering at me about a great many things I didn't know about with no introduction to speak of, and finally I had to interrupt him to ensure that I was correct that this pony was who I thought. Whew. He began chattering at me about a great many things I didn't know about with no introduction to speak of, and finally I had to interrupt him to ensure I was tired. Yes, okay, whew. Don't know why that was tripping me up. He began chattering at me about a great many things I didn't know about, with no introduction to speak of, and finally I had to interrupt him to ensure I was correct about this pony was the pony that every pony should know. That this pony was the pony that every pony should know. I swear, if someone put up like a fail compilation of these of all these chapters, that would be like over an hour long. He began chattering at me about a great many things I didn't know about, with no introduction to speak of, and finally I had to interrupt him to ensure I was correct that this pony was who I thought. Is it just me, or is it weird that he ended on thought? Who I thought. What's the matter? Not a thing. What's the matter with you? Oh, man. Okay. Whew. Now time to revive Rome voices from streams past. Please give back to me What's the Matter's voice. Badante. It is something like this. Yeah? It is something like this. Not a thing. What's the matter with you? Not a thing. What's the matter? No, 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 no. Not a thing. What's the matter with you? That doesn't work if it's not his actual name. Not a thing. No, not a thing. But don't. This sounds... Was he set upon by bandits? Was he set upon by bandits? Is he a bandit? Not a thing. What's the matter with you? Hey! V-Drake's in the chat. Woo! Welcome, Master V. Of the 77. Not a thing. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Not a thing. What's the matter? I can't do it. You created a pun name, and now I can't say the pun name. Not a thing. What's the matter with you? Not a thing. What's the matter with you? Yes, I got it. I did it. There we go. Boop. Oh, I should probably save this. That'd probably be a good idea. Or there we go. I mean, like, he is the master of the written word. I don't know why I can't say what's the matter. I don't know why I can't. It's probably his voice. To be honest, it's probably doing his accent in his voice to doing a punny thing. Aster, I could have sworn I showed you my library before. No need to call me Mister. We know each other. Oh, I am? Oh, oh, come on. Studio mode. Why you go off? Why do you go off on me like that? And boom. There we go. How long were you guys on the waiting screen? How long? Oh, man. Was it a long time? I bet it was a long time. Because I don't notice anything. The pony began to laugh uproariously, and the shocking amount of sheer mirth pouring from him overcame me, and I began to feel an urge to reciprocate. The pony began to laugh uproariously. The pony began to laugh uproariously. Am I saying that right? Like, uproarious. It sounds like I'm mumbling it. Like, uproariously. It sounds right. I'm reading that right. But why does it sound like I'm mumbling it? The pony began to laugh uproariously, and the shocking amount of sheer mirth pouring from him overcame me. I began to feel an urge to reciprocate as the pony's cheer overflowed my ability to restore it. The pony began to laugh uproariously, and the shocking amount of sheer mirth pouring from him overcame... Words. You are so hard to say. Curse you, Master V. Doesn't that sound like someone's name from like Dragon Ball or something? Master V! Master V! I said dodge! The pony began to laugh uproariously. The shocking amount of sheer worth. The pony began to laugh uproariously, and the shocking amount of sheer mirth pouring from him overcame me, and I began to feel an urge to reciprocate as the pony's cheer overflowed my ability to restore it. Not restore, just a store. We're going to Soups. We're off to Soups. The pony began to laugh uproariously, and the shocking amount of sheer mirth pouring from him over... No. Ah, bye, Fractal. Glad you could make it to the stream, even for a little bit. Yeah, it's been fun. And you can catch the whole thing when it gets uploaded to YouTube, so you don't have to worry about missing a thing. I'm hoping to make these a weekly thing, so let me know if this time of night is good for you guys, or if you want me to have it a little earlier, a little later. Let me know. The pony began to laugh uproariously, and the shocking amount of sheer mirth pouring from him overcame me, and I began to feel an urge to reciprocate as the pony's cheer overflowed my ability to store it. Yes. For the life of me, I could not understand how any pony could feel such joy at simply being questioned on their name. I stared with the beginning of a grin that did not fit my confusion. But you're... But... Now hear me out. But you are with me right now. But you are with me right now. But you are with me. It's always that same pitch. It's the same pitch I always hit. But you are with me right now. But you are with me right now. Wasta practically howled with laughter. Wasta practically howled with laughter. I cut it off a little bit. Even just slightly. Wasta practically howled with laughter. Wasta practically howled. Nah, that doesn't sound like Vital. It sounds like he's going into Shining's range. Wasta practically howled with laughter. But let me do a Wasta accent. Does this sound Wasta enough for everyone? Let's hope so, because these accents are never going to be consistent across these. But you are with me, he says. Oh, Sandy, you are too much. Wasta practically howled with laughter. But you are with me, he says. Oh, Sandy, you are too much. It sounds natural. Yay! I recoiled, but his laughter was completely overwhelming me, and I began a wheezy sort of laughter that made it seem as if I could not breathe instead of merely trying to hold it in. I recoiled, but his laughter was completely overwhelming me, and I began a wheezy sort of laughter that made it seem as if I could not breathe instead of merely trying to hold it in. Oh my gosh! I'm so surprised. One take. One take Knox. That's my name. Sandy? My name was not going to be this horrible, useless dirt that refused to hold a decent shape. Sandy? My name was not going to be this horrible, useless dirt that refused to hold a decent shape. Wasta nodded, as if it was the most natural thing. Wasta nodded, as if it was the most normal thing in the world to name someone after such a terrible thing. That's where I found you, and brought you home. That means I get to name you, unless you found a better one yet. Wasta nodded, as if it was the most normal thing in the world to name someone after such a terrible thing. That's where I found you, and brought you home. That means I get to name you, unless you found a better one yet. Realizing he must have spoken to Zamir already, part of me seethed. Of course I had not. Still, he had claimed that he had a right to name me. It was a good name for as... No! So long, One Take Ikwi. So long, One Take Nox. You will be missed. Realizing he must have spoken to Zamir already, part of me seethed. Of course I had not. Still, he had claimed that he had a right to name me. It was a good name as... Of course I had not. Still, he had claimed that he had a right to name me. That was a pause that did not need to be there. Glad you're enjoying your soup. I see someone's been at soups. Am I right, Habit? Too bad it's just us tonight. Because like, even on Thursday we had like two other people in here, right? Is Saturday just a bad time? I thought more people would be available on Saturday, so that's why I'm like, yeah, a live stream Saturday. I don't know, I'll probably have to put a vote in the chat. Like, when you say timing, do you mean like how late it is? Or is it just like, I just barely announced it like a couple hours before I started, like, hey, I'm doing a live stream. Ah. Yeah, that could do it. Okay, maybe I'll try and see if I can get the live stream started by, let's say, 8? 9 at the latest next week. Well, I work Sundays most of the time, so it's either going to have to be Saturdays or Tuesdays. And I figured Saturdays would work for most people. So let's go with earlier next week. 9? 9 sound good for people? Yeah, I'll post a poll in the live stream chat because I want people's input on it for when the best time for this live stream would be. Because I don't have much free time, but I would like to try and get this to be a weekly thing. Still, he had claimed that he had a right to name me. It was as good a... Still, he had claimed that he had a right to name me. Why am I not using my other voice? Still, he had a right that... Still, he had claimed that he had a right to name me. It was as good a name as any for the shape, which was already beginning to irritate me with its lack of horn. It was as... Nope. No, don't you do that. It was as good as a name for... It was as good a name as any for this shape, which was already beginning to irritate me with its lack of a horn. Well, it'll work out now. It will work out for now then. Well, Auntie, I need to practice doing voice, because this sounds like Transylvania. Yeah? Was he set upon by bandits? Is he a bandit? Well, it will work for now then. Besides, Auntie Zamir says you tried 6 already and none of them fit. Well, it will work for now then. Besides, Auntie Zamir says you tried 6 already and none of them fit. 8. I'm doing this a sentence at a time because I don't know what's wrong with me. 8. Just one word. One word. Fine, I'll incorporate it into the sentence. 8, I offered, allowing myself to feel a bit foolish even as I continued. Oh man, I almost had it right, but I think my mic was popping again. 8. Changeling. 8, I offered, allowing myself to feel a bit foolish even as I contained the absurd quantity of mirth I had been given. 8, I offered, allowing myself to feel a bit foolish even as I contained the absurd quantity of mirth I had been given. Boop. Yes, if I need to, I will record this one word at a time, just so I can get it done. Oh man. But I haven't informed you of the good news, Drake. I have, for the most part, figured out the voices required to do Idol versus the Dread Train. That's going to be popping up sometime. I won't tell you because I want it to be a surprise. As well, another thing that's going to be happening is that Roughshod is going to have a Russian accent. Oh, this is going to be fun. I had been helpfully informed that my last attempt was more of a common first name for mare earth ponies. I had been helpfully informed that my last attempt was more of a common... No, stop. Stop! 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 Okay. Drake, I also must make an inquiry of you to make an idle buck an emote, because it's just too beautiful not to be. I had been helpfully informed that my... Oh, I'm cutting myself off at the beginning now, I see. I had been helpfully informed that my last attempt was more of a common first name for mare earth ponies in Saddle Arabia than one ever ascribed to Pegasi. Ooh, in the Livestream chat, Habit, I believe, posted an image for an idle buck. No, Fractal. Fractal posted an image for an idle buck, and it is beautiful. Yeah, and I just looked at the Discord. It was Fractal. I have been helpfully... Don't worry. I'm giving credit where's credit's due. Fractal, definitely Fractal. It's just up a little ways in the live stream chat. I had been helpfully informed by the last... I had been helpfully informed that my last attempt was more of a common first name for mare earth ponies in Saddle Arabia than one would ever ascribe to Pegasi, and I had been beginning... no. Just no. That was... and I had been beginning to give up hope of finding an appropriate phrase. Sandy, though personally abhorrent, would have to do. Abhorrent. Special abhorrent. Sandy, though personally abhorrent, would have to do. That was a bit too high. It was a bit too high for idle. Sandy, though personally abhorrent... Why can't I do Why can't I read idle? I can't read idle. Sandy, though personally abhorrent, would have to do. All things considered, I found Wasta to be a pleasant companion. Sandy, though personally abhorrent, would have to do. All things considered, I found Wasta to be a pleasant companion. Get down tonight. The gangly stallion craved 3 things I was to learn: good stories, great deals, and very, very bad jokes that would inspire groans, even if those in hearing range found it amusing. So puns. Did he tell idle puns? Is Wasta secretly Silverquill? Can we get a confirmation on that? It was fascinating. I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several of the members of the caravan. Wasta is Wasta. Fascinating. I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several members of the caravan find me more approachable. I think I might have figured out where's the clicking sound. It's coming from my headphone. Curse you. Curse you, Walmart headphones. I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several of the members of the caravan find me more approachable. I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several of the members of the caravan. I added another word. I already have trouble with the words present. Why do I keep on adding more? I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several members of the caravan find me more approachable. Because I put a pause in there. I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several members of the caravan find me more approachable. The caravan find me more made several members of the caravan find me of the caravan. I found that my oh my gosh, this is why I highlight. I lost my place even though I was staring at the screen. I found that my direct, if bewildered, takes on his puns and wisecracks were considered to be a form of friendly teasing that actually made several members of the caravan find me more approachable. Beyond that, the jokes were interesting puzzles. The logic behind domestic fowl crossing paths seemed very reasonable to me, but then I'd never known before our gatherers to ascribe wisdom to farmer creatures. Whew, where am I going with that one? Oh, no. No, come back. Come back, please. Oh, gosh. It'll happen every scream. The logic behind domestic fowl crossing paths seemed very reasonable to me, but then I'd never known before our gatherers to ascribe wisdom to farmer creatures. Did I cut myself off? Oh, gosh, I cut myself off. The logic behind domestic fowl crossing paths seemed very reasonable to me, but then I'd never known our gatherers to ascribe wisdom to farm creatures. Perhaps they were so stupid that they were giving... Perhaps they were so stupid that giving them logic was the joke. Perhaps they were so stupid that giving them logic was the joke. Convinced I had mastered comedy, I explained in detail the reasons bears would be required to do their business in the woods, a joke, I believe, relevant to one of Wasta's many odd comments. It was apparently not funny. Wasta found that highly amusing for days. Perhaps they were so stupid that giving them logic was the joke. Convinced I had mastered comedy, I explained in detail the reasons bears would be required to do their business in the woods, a joke, I believe, relevant to one of Wasta's many odd comments. It was apparently not funny. I cracked under pressure. It was apparently not funny. Wasta found that highly amusing for the next few days, which will take me just as long to read this. It was apparently not funny. Wasta found that highly amusing for days. Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely fruitless with regards to my identity, though he'd clearly spent much of his stay doing some additional trading to Zanzamir. Zamir, not Zanzamir. What am I doing? Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely fruitless with regards to my identity, though he'd clearly spent much of his stay doing some additional trading to Zamir's. What is wrong with me? Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely fruitless with regards to my identity, though he'd clearly strayed. It's happening. It's happening. It's the point of the live stream where I can't read anymore. Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely fruitless with regards to my identity, though he clearly spent much of his stay doing some additional training to Zamir's displeasure. Allegedly, he found several passable offers and one very good deal on coffee, a bitter, crunchy bean that I found very satisfying. Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely fruitless with regards to my identity, though he clearly spent much of his stay doing some additional training to Zamir's displeasure. Allegedly, he found several passable offers. Oh no! I did addition trading, not additional. Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement. Oh my. Can't. Curse you, D's! Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely. Wasta's trip to a nearby settlement had, of course, been entirely fruitless with regards to my identity, though he clearly spent much of his stay doing some additional trading, much to Zamir's displeasure. Allegedly, he found several passable offers and one very good deal on coffee, a bitter, crunchy bean that I found very satisfying. I spent the rest of the morning assisting with every camp project that extra set of hooves would improve, marveling at my newfound energy. By lunchtime, I quietly decided I was dying. Wasta's jovial insistence I should have... Wasta's jovial insistence I should have drank the beans was ludicrous, and I stoutly informed him of such. Wasta's jovial insistence I should have drank the beans was ludicrous, and I stoutly informed him of such. As delicious as those beans were, the idea of mixing them in water, boiling or not, was too outlandish for me to accept, and I continued to lift my nose at the idea for the entirety of our trip, preferring to chew one or two as the move struck me, thankful for Wasta's generosity. Sugar cubes. You got a message, Sugar Cube? Sugar Cube no. Sugar cubes, I found, reminded me of the slimy nourishment provided to me as a hatchling, and the cessation of homesickness was enough to make me forego more of them, though the rest of the camp seemed to think... Though the rest of the camp seemed to think they were a pleasant enough snack for the day-to-day use. Though the rest of the camp seemed to think they were pleasant enough snack for day-to-day use. No. Though the rest of the camp seemed to think they were a pleasant enough snack for day-to-day use. Forgot an A. Though the rest of the camp seemed to think they were a pleasant enough snack for day-to-day use. Did I cut myself off? Though the rest of the camp seemed to think they were a pleasant enough snack for day-to-day use. Yes, I cut myself off. Always happens. Though the rest of the camp seemed to think they were a pleasant enough snack for day-to-day use. So I won't be able to do a Halloween stream, but I could either do a pre-Halloween stream or an after-Halloween stream. Yeah. Don't know what I would do, but it's there. I began to learn of other things that these ponies did to make the trip more pleasant as I helped pull their carts, finding this a much better substitute for sitting in the cart like some of the foals, as not only did it give me a chance to learn more about pony society, I learned several useful tricks. I began to learn of other things that these ponies did to make the trip more pleasant as I helped pull their carts, finding this a much better substitute for sitting in the cart like some of the foals, as not only did it give me a chance to learn more about pony society, I learned several useful tricks. Okay, good luck with the traveling rider. Like you're on a show for great riders that travel around the country, right? They write while going around the country, telling other authors how to be better writers. Something like that. Yeah, the next live stream will probably be next Saturday, hopefully around 9. If I can wing it as such. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's totally a legit thing. I'll do it earlier so that some of the not late night owls can join in as well. Oakenstave, for example, had a cart that was oddly heavy and difficult to pull, which eventually led him. I'm not calling it yet. Maybe after this paragraph, or maybe in the middle of this paragraph because it's a long paragraph. Oakenstave, for example, had a cart that was oddly heavy and difficult to pull, which eventually led him to show me a set of grindstones he connected to the bottom of his cart. This allowed him to mill his own fresh flour just by turning the wheels of his cart, which explains some of the gritty fresh bread. You're gonna say goodnight? Okay, have a good night, Habit. You have a good one. Yeah, see you in the next stream. And hopefully we'll have more people in the next stream too. This would greatly please me. This allowed him to mill his own fresh flour just by turning the wheels of his cart, which explains some of the gritty fresh bread the quartermaster tended to produce. I got a whistling sensation. I'm doing a Sean Connery. This allowed him to mill his own flour. This allowed him to mill his own fresh flour just by turning the wheels of his cart, which explains some of the gritty fresh bread the quartermaster tended to produce. This allowed him to mill his own fresh flour just by turning the wheels of his cart, which explains some of the gritty fresh bread the quartermaster tended to produce. It was a work in progress, and he was quite confident that he would someday make it a useful device for carts everywhere, which would just be as soon as he found a way to make it in any way more convenient than binding flour or using a regular millstone. This allowed him to mill his own fresh flour just by turning the wheels of his cart, which explains some of the gritty fresh bread the quartermaster tended to produce. It was a work in progress, and he was quite confident that he would someday make it a useful device for carts everywhere, which would just be as soon as he found a way to make it in any way more convenient than binding flour or using a regular millstone. Still, the large earth pony was enthusiastic about his work, and though none of his products were exceptionally good, whilst it claimed it was by and far better than the average travel rations, it was all freshly made and relatively cheap. The others found themselves agreeing, if with good-natured reluctance. Especially after the fresh milled flour Wasta had brought back from his own trip turned out to consist entirely of weevils. Man, weevils and flour are the worst. My family actually used to grind up wheat that we had to make flour. We always had to check for weevils. It sucked so much. Especially if we had to check it in the mill that we had. The others found themselves agreeing, if with good-natured reluctance, especially after the freshly milled flour Wasta had brought back from his own trip turned out to consist entirely... Oh, wow. Maybe it's just too far on the bottom of the page for me. The others found themselves agreeing, if with good-natured reluctance, especially after the freshly milled flour Wasta had brought back from his own trip turned out to consist almost entirely of weevils. Okay, there we go. The others found themselves agreeing, if with good-natured reluctance, especially after the freshly milled flour Wasta had brought back from his own trip turned out to consist almost entirely of weevils. The others found themselves agreeing, if with good-natured reluctance, especially after the freshly milled flour Wasta had brought back from his own trip turned out to consist almost entirely of weevils. I'm just speeding up, aren't I? Speeding up all over the place. Can't do. The others found themselves agreeing, if with good-natured reluctance, especially after the freshly milled flour Wasta had brought back from his own trip turned out to consist almost entirely of weevils. I found the insistence that this flour must be thoroughly sifted somewhat pointless, and ate the collected pests in secret. I found the insistence that this flour must be thoroughly sifted somewhat pointless, and ate the collected pests in secret. So, I'm going to end the live stream there. Well, maybe I'll end the live stream there. Yeah. What's going on now? Is it just that last sentence? It's so good. Especially how you pointed out earlier in this chapter that Idle may not have the ability to swim this early in the story, and you follow through, and it's so good. Maybe one more paragraph, and we're good. Silvertongue had been Zamer's business partner for years, the two of them making a tidy profit. Yep, a profit. Silvertongue had been Zamer's business partner for years, the two of them making tidy profit. Silver knew when to lay it on thick, and Zamer knew when to strike when the iron was hot. That had not been enough words in there. Definitely not enough words. There we go. Silver knew when to lay it on thick, and iron knew when to strike when the Zamer was hot. Oh gosh, that's something else for the After Hours channel, isn't it? Silver knew when to lay it on thick, and Zamer knew when to strike the iron when it was hot. Though I was not sure what was being laid on. Yeah, you should know by now. I work the night shift. This is completely normal for me. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what ire Zamir was striking. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking. And awkward pauses abounded in this live stream. Not by choice, but by the inability to read. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking, this all seemed to mean that the two of them worked well together, and had now mostly traveled out of familiarity than need. And I completely messed that take up. This is why it takes so long to put out chapters. But hopefully, with me getting a consistent live streaming schedule down, hopefully I'll be able to post 2 chapters a month. And I'll catch up with you before I know it. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking, this all seemed to mean the two of them worked well together, and had now mostly traveled out in familiarity than need, which wasn't the case for everyone in the caravan. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking, this all seemed to mean the two of them worked well together. Yeah, there was a pause there. That I did not intend. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking, this all seemed to mean that the two of them worked well together. Though I was not sure what was being layered on, nor what iron Zamir was striking, this all seemed to mean that the two of them worked well together, and had now mostly traveled out of familiarity than need, which wasn't the case for everyone in the caravan. Oh man, I'm ending the stream just before Roughshod comes into this. Were you here, Drake, when he's not here anymore. Oh, well. So I'm going to end the live stream for tonight, mostly because I'm out of water, and we got a decent chunk through in the 2 hours we were streaming. Next week, I'm hopefully going to start streaming at 9. 8 or 9. 8:30 is going to be my goal for next week. Yes. Oh, you're back. Are you just hidden on the chat? Yeah, it still says you're not here. So I don't know why. Why does it do this? So, anyway. Roughshod is going to be Russian. This is going to work perfectly and have no chance of failure. Mostly because I can't do 3 deep voicemails without them being confused for one another. So Roughshod's going to have a slight accent. What are you talking about? Let me see. Eventually accepting that my lack of cutie mark was only a bucking shame, and I was less worthless than his own bucking sons, even if I was a bucking Pegasus. That wasn't even Russian. that's in Soviet Russia. It was only a bucking shame, and that I was less worthless than his own bucking sons, even if I was a bucking Pegasus. Having never kicked him once, I began to wonder if I misunderstood the term. As clipping his words, like a bucking shame. I don't know what clipping words means. I hear it all the time, and I don't know what it means. Ah, yes. But in Soviet Russia, words clip you. That my lack of a cutie mark was a bucking shame, and I was less worthless than his own bucking sons, even if I was a bucking Pegasus. Oh man. Are there actually no Oh no. Oh no. I'm sad now. There's no actual lines from Roughshod. At least in this chapter. Is it going to Does Roughshod actually talk? Did I completely miss the point where he actually talks? If he doesn't talk, then oh no. Because I was working up for Roughshod, and now he doesn't have any lines that I can see. Oh, thank goodness, he speaks later. Oh, thank goodness. They have a whole bucking discussion. Is bucking even considered swear word? I don't know how to do Russian accent except to do a slight accent as well as a deep voice. Where's the vodka when you need it? And in Soviet Russia, the conversation bucks you. Ah, man, this is gonna be fun. Muss uns skrivel. Yes, it's so good. Too bad you joined the live stream too late, because even if I wasn't ending it right now, I would have ended it in 9 minutes anyway, because I only planned for this to be a 2-hour live stream. So hopefully next time we can get some more talking done and whatnot. So gonna end it here, and thank you for anyone that came out. Thank you, Mr. V, Master V, for creating such a wonderful story for us all to read. And hopefully we'll see everyone next time.